This is my individual concept idea for a horror movie trailer. The plot is based on a screenplay called Bloodfest written by Biggin. I created this mood board in order to show the stock elements of my trailer. As seen in the images, my characters are teenagers. This is because the target audience for my film is young adults and I want them to be able to relate to the characters. Also, this helps me to get across my theme of teenage punishment. This links to the image of the alcohol cans as the teenagers experience punishment for not abiding by social rules and by drinking underage. The images showing the old-fashioned cinema depict the storyline of the film and the dark setting where it will take place. The knife is a phallic object and is used by the antagonist in the butcher costume to kill the teenagers. The knife through the chest is the antagonist's thematic way of killing his victims. This connotes the idea of penetration taking away innocence. The shadow images represent the idea that the antagonist is an unknown entity to the audience and the characters, which is conventional to the genre. The leather gloves add to this persona, as even the hands of the antagonist are not shown, leaving them as a mystery character. The spark picture depicts the part in the storyline where a power cut happens, leaving the teenagers in the dark. The target audience for my film is males aged 18 to 21. My trailer is aimed at males because there is a high focus on weapons, gore and violence which conventionally appeal more to males than to females. The young target audience will be able to relate to the protagonist and other stock characters within my film as they are all young, and so the audience could build a symbiotic relationship with them, meaning that they would experience the film in a different way as they would feel a personal connection to the characters. This audience will be able to relate to the themes of teenage punishment better than adults. My film will be aimed at horror genre fans. This is because they will be able to understand and appreciate the conventions in my film. They would have pre-existing expectations for the film which I would be able to meet through including conventions. The main influence from my film comes from Bloodfest by Biggin. I have also taken the style of my film idea from the horror film Grave Encounters, in the fact that the characters are locked in a building and cannot escape. This can be linked to Altman's theory, as the audience are left to figure out how the characters are going to escape, who is killing them and who will survive the film, which is known as an intellectual puzzle. There is also a general influence from all horror films, with my intentions to include as many conventions and stock scenes as possible in order to satisfy the expectations of the audience. The BBFC rating that I gave my film is an 18. This is due to the violent nature of my slasher film. There is a lot of gore which would be inappropriate to expose a younger audience to. There is also high levels of illegal activities, sexual references and explicit language which again would be inappropriate for a younger audience. By having a higher age rating, I am able to include more scary things in order to make the audience enjoy the film. I would use one scene from the film to make my trailer, however I would incorporate the 3-act structure. The beginning would set up the story and inform the audience what is going on by showing the teenagers going into the cinema. Then when the teenagers realise that they are not alone, this would be the disruption. And after this I would show a fast-paced montage of stock scenes showing the disruption that ensues and the things that happen to the teenagers. The conventions in my trailer would fit into Burton's theory. The background would be dark and use low-key lighting in order to create a sense of mystery and a scary aura. There will be one protagonist who would be the final girl, a masculinized female character who survives until the end of the film. The stock characters would be her high school teenage friends who are conventionally attractive and popular. I aim to include a variety of stock scenes such as people getting dragged into dark corners, female characters falling over when running from the killer, death scenes and a continuous thematic way of killing the teenagers. I will have props such as knives, which are phallic objects, and when stabbing the teenagers, show the loss of innocence and can be linked to the idea of rape. The theme in my trailer is teenage punishment. The group of teenagers are being punished for being somewhere that they should not be and for breaking social rules such as underage drinking and having premarital sex.